We use it on a smaller scale, between 6 and 7%. We don't usually go higher because we believe it takes the flavor out. Huge. So yeah, I mean, if you don't use one of them today, there again, you're into a bad business. If you're burning oil, most big guys make so much syrup they can't cut 200-300 cords of wood.
Yeah.
So they have to burn oil. And whatever sap test, you divide it by 86 point something. You know what I mean? So everybody says it's 40 gallons. If it tests 3, it only takes you 30 gallons, roughly. So we bring it to 6%. Then you divide that into that 86. And what's that give you? Around 15 gallons. It just saves so much wood or oil. It's unreal. But if you go too much, you lose the flavor. You know, I know a lot of local people here going 17 to 20%.
But they can too, because they're just selling to big retail, and they're paying for it no matter what. So it's good business on their part, I guess. You know, it's cheaper, it's quicker.
Really care.
They don't care.
They don't care, and
It's
the
an
people
income
that-
for them. Where we're selling it by the gallon,
yeah.
For home consumption,
you need the flavor.
you need the flavor. It's important to think about somebody's just selling it to a company because they want to make maple flavored granola.
Yeah.
Then
Bascom,
They
is it
don't
Bascom
care.
right now? I think the key is they don't want them going over 14%. It don't stick to make candy.
okay.
But there's no way of telling till after they get the syrup and whoops, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it definitely does something.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are backing down a little bit.
Yeah.
Otherwise they're just going to lose. You know, if that happens, the next year they're not buying syrup from them. But you've got other ones that are 18, 19%. And just, and I don't know, here I want somebody to say, oh, it's good maple flavored.
You can ask them what their
Does
sugar
the,
content is per tree.
What's your sugar content per tree? What do you average?
That's going to vary. We got 2 different sugar bushes. This one up here probably last year was a little stronger, 2.1, 2.2. That one down there, 1.7 on the average through the year.
What are they facing?
Both face the same way. They both face east. Just one set's lower and it's more shaded with pines. One's,
Better trees, older trees, maybe.
yeah, this one's on ledges. I don't know if that's makes it less. But if you went back 20 years ago when we were all buckets, that was 3. This one was 2. Because buckets just, you know what I mean, they fall out of the tree versus pull. With a lot of pull, you're getting a lot of moisture. You must be pulling some water.
So, like, what's been your best year, like the sugar content in the trees? What's the best you ever had?
The best year I've ever had was probably 93 and 94. Both them years, we've had sap probably tests pretty close to 4. But we were all buckets.
Is that good for around here?
That's real good. And back then, I don't think we tapped anything under 15 inches in diameter. You know, today we're tapping down to 10 inches and using a health belt.
Well, that brings me to the next question. What size of the tree does it have to be to tap it?
Well, that's a matter of opinion. I think it should be at least 10 inches or more
Yeah.
with a health belt. 15 inches with a 7/16 belt. You know, we are taking some small trees now and we're using a 1/4 inch belt. And we're getting as much off that 1/4 inch belt as we do a 5/16 belt. It's just so much better for the tree.
What does the temperature have to be for the sap to run?
Needs to come above freezing.
Yeah.
You know,
For the sunshine. Huh?
yeah, that's going to vary. If it gets down to in the teens at night, it may need to warm up to 40 in the daytime. But if it gets down to 30 at night, just below freezing, it can warm up to 34 or 5, and it will run. You know what I mean? That can vary a little.
Yeah, the beginning of the year it needs to warm up quite a bit because everything's froze up so tight.
Yeah.
Especially this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you use wood. you use wood to burn.
Yep.
How much wood do you think you use a year?
20 cords probably. And we burn all softwood.
All softwood, no hardwood.
No hardwood in the sugar house.
Is hardwood good for the maple trees, but no softwood?
You're confusing me. Hardwood burns a lot hotter and it's a lot better. We just use it in our houses.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? So the softwood's waste wood. You know what I mean? So we use it in the sugar house.
Like, just softwood doesn't burn good in the house, so.
Exactly. Yeah. It burns too fast and quick, and
The spot for us is to get rid of it, sort of.
Yeah. Keeps the woods clean.
What's your favorite grade of maple syrup? Like fancy or?
Medium amber.
Which that's going to be changing.
This year, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't even know the new grading.
Yeah.
What's your favorite story about sugar?
One story that comes to mind, an old timer told me how syrup began. It could be a myth. I think it is probably, but it was a bunch of Indians one morning. An older Indian told his boy, go to the brook and get some water. So the boy went over to a tree and the pail was full. So he didn't bother going to the brook to get any water. He brought the pail over. They boiled it down for something and it tasted sweet. And kind of, asking the kid later, where'd this water come from? They went back to the tree and where the pail was sitting, they had an axe, into the tree. And the sap was coming off the axe down into the pail. I don't know if there's any truth. I've heard that since I was a kid from some old timer.
That's what they've been telling us. That at school they've been saying Indian threw an axe in a tree and there was a little pail underneath it. And
so you heard the same story. Mm-hmm. But that's the only story I can think of from my own place.
Mm-hmm.
I have. I mean, when I was a kid, I don't have any stories, but probably the better times I can remember is, we used to sugar it without electricity. You know what I mean? I always thought that was kind of cool. We used lanterns at night. I've seen times where we caught the sugar house half on fire with oil from the lanterns and stuff like that. But
Or in the past.
Huh?
Or in the past.
Yeah. But we've had a few fires here. Today with forced air. You have so many more ashes going up out of the chimney. And we've had some close calls. But, it's all better practices. I think we're going to put a screen in the, you know what I mean, where the smoke comes up to try to stop the ashes. But there's no particular story that comes to mind. It's
getting stuck.
Yeah.
Getting stuck with a tractor. That was never no fun.
Yeah. These are torn apart years ago. Your water, if you get any moisture in here, it runs at them.
Yeah.
This thing is usually up top, tipped upside down. No water gets in them and rusts them out.
This paper is 60 years
This
old.
sugar rig is a 1940s model. It is so old. This is a new part, but if you went on the other side as it comes out of the rig, it does not have a thread. It has a mold. That's how old it is.
Yes.
It is a raised flue, lightning. Don't know what else to tell you about it, but this is what it looks like tore apart. Bring that right over here. Inside this is the firebox. You have these holes on it, so when you fill it with wood, you hit a button and you can get air will come up out of there to make it hotter.
Do you have a blower?
Yep. Same with the front of this arch. You've got a great big thick door. This is an add-on. It's insulated. You can almost touch that when you're boiling. Where years ago it would get cherry red. And that's about it in here.